ranking Dexter villains based off of their kills, how effective they were towards get Dexter, how they changed the storyline, what they did, and just them as a person. So, to get started, we've got Arthur Mitchell, or the Trinity Killer. This man was ruthless, unforgiving, and killed Rita. Like, come on, you can't kill Rita. Um, so for him, he was also, but he wasn't brutal. You know, he wasn't insane. He didn't do anything crazy to his victims. He just had a lot of victims and a lot of kills, but they're all the same way. He did it in fours. So, for that, boy. So, for that, I'm gonna put him in great. He's not goaded. That's gonna be held for a couple more. Ice Truck Killer. Okay, well, Brian Moser. So, Brian Moser, Dexter's blood brother, was probably. The glaze is unreal on this guy, but Dexter would have never found him if Brian didn't want him to find him. Now, you could say if Dexter could have started putting the pieces together and figured out about Brian and all that, but he had a fake identity. He was a doctor. He was literally working with him and was Deborah's boyfriend. Like, they're about to get married. So for that, as well as, hold on, he killed, what was it, 19 people in the main show that we know of. He flayed their skin, impressed Dexter, and the cops were just befuddled. Like, they had no idea what was going on. So for that, he's goated. Like, Trinity was caught instantly by Dexter. Brian, he literally talked with Dexter about both their mums dying. Like, come on. We got Isaac Serco, a mob boss, tough guy, you know, just deadly. He came into Dexter's life after Dexter killed one of his friends, which we later found out to be his boyfriend, the only one who ever knew about it. Um, he wanted to hunt Dexter down for killing him, and he did that, but he wasn't able to kill him. Dexter, put rival gangs in front of him, four dudes, and Isaac would walk out of there unharmed. Like, that guy was crazy. Like, there was nothing he could, like, Dexter couldn't do anything unless it was hand-to-hand combat. Which we didn't get to see, sadly, but we saw Isaac sitting in his house, outsmarting Dexter sometimes. He was pretty smart. He was pretty good. But at the end, Dexter and him started talking a bit more, being a bit more friendly, but they couldn't be friends just because Dexter killed his boyfriend. So for a character, he definitely isn't trash and he isn't mid. He's good. He's not Trinity level because, like, I don't wanna. I might move Trinity, to be honest, because he killed Rita. And that, like, that ruined Dexter. Like, completely ruined Dexter. Because, well, after Rita died, he's, sometimes stopped following the code, going crazy. Just everything went wrong after Rita died. Next, we have the Bay Harbor Butcher, also known as Sergeant James Stokes. He was good. He found out Dexter was the Bay Harbor Butcher. Always hated Dexter. Well, not always, but hated Dexter after Dexter said a quote out of a serial killer's poem or journal that only Dokes had access to. Dokes was just a D1 hater on Dexter, and he had no real reason to, but he just did. Uh, Good cop, smart man. He caught on to Dexter like really quick, but you know what? I really liked him. I hated the way he died, the way Lila killed him. Like if Lila was in this list, she was going trash because I hate Lila. Which I mean, she's actually a pretty good character, but Dokes was great. I miss you, Dokes. Okay, Jordan Chase. This man, he may have not done the things. I can't even say it, but the things his crew did from his lead. Like if this was off brutalness, number one. Because what they did was horrific and foul. Like, well, the things that, like, that was even, like, just hard to hear during watching the show. Like, these guys, Brian Moser, he killed, Trinity killed, James Stokes, called on Dexter, Isaac Sirko killed, but he did bad things. If you're watching this, you already know what he did, but, for a character, he's gonna go same tier as Isaac Sirko, just it was a season. Season 5, we just came off of season 4. Like, we just had the Trinity Killer. We just had Rita dying. And now we've got Lumen instantly, Jordan Chase. Just, it wasn't a bad season. It just wasn't the best. Probably the worst in the series. Well, now we've got Kurt Caldwell. Um, voice actor for Mr. Krabs, if you didn't know. So he's also known as a runaway killer. And he killed about, I think it was 28 people. And he would do it by getting people hitchhiking at his cafe, and he would offer them money, a cabin, they'd go sleep out in it, but they couldn't actually escape, and then he would let them out, and then tell them to run, and then he'd shoot them, and he did that for about 30 years, or something like that, like 20 years. This was from New Blood, and he came into Dexter's life because Dexter killed his son after his first kill after 10 years of no killing. And Kurt Caldwell slowly caught on to Harrison and Dexter after he found, that's right, he found his son's titanium screw in a fire, or like a furnace. He was really well written, quite oddly terrifying. Like, he gives very similar vibes to Trinity. Um, it's tough to put him because he he's definitely better than Dokes as a killer antagonist tier list, but was he better than Trinity? Was he worse than Trinity? Was he better than Brian? Was he worse than Brian? Think he was worse than Brian. Um, you know what? He actually made Dexter get caught, like properly. Like, he is now known as the Bay Harbor Butcher, which we will soon see in Resurrection and how that goes. So he's pretty goated. Like, these guys didn't get him caught. He didn't. He didn't. He didn't. Honestly, yeah, no, that's a bit better. Next we have Miguel Prado. Okay, with Miguel, he was Dexter's friend, and Dexter taught him the code, how everything works. But Dexter taught him the code based off of Dexter accidentally killing not on the code, because he killed Miguel Prado's brother in self-defense, and then Miguel Prado talked to Dexter, and then Dexter then killed Miguel Prado. Oh well, Miguel Prado's his brother's supposed killer. He killed him in self-defense, but he was just killing him. And Miguel Prado caught him, and he gave him his shirt, gave him all the stuff. They became friends. They did a couple kills, and then Miguel decided to kill Ellen Wolf, which was one of his rival. Yeah, she was a defense attorney. He was a prosecutor. So, enemies. He killed her. Dexter found out, and then he killed him. He revealed that he killed his brother. But he killed Brian. He killed Miguel's brother, and he's gonna kill Miguel. He was a pretty good. I liked the twist. I liked, Texas Crash Out. I'm gonna put him above Jordan Chase. He's gonna go mid. Oliver Saxon. Okay. Oliver Saxon, Daniel Vogel, or the brain surgeon. 3 names. He he was he was brutal. He was the last villain in the main series, and obviously off his name, he would brain surgeon. He would cut the back of people's heads off, and then yeah, he killed Zach, which I was very upset at because Zach had so much potential. He listened to Dexter, followed his code, did everything right. Like if Zach and Dexter teamed up, it would have been like Batman level stuff. But Oliver Saxon, Daniel Vogel had to just go and ruin it. And then he also killed Deb, which was really sad. Because Deb was like the only person who didn't know Dexter was the Bay Harbor Butcher, but then found out and actually still liked Dexter after. He was pretty brutal, decently well written, but honestly, I'm a bit biased towards him because, like, I liked Rita more than Deb, but I knew Rita died. Like, I knew she died. I got spoiled. I didn't know Deb died. So I'm gonna put him above Dokes. Okay. Yeah, I like that. And last but not least, we have Travis Marshall. Or the Doomsday Killer. The twist in this season to find out that he killed his professor was actually one I didn't see coming. Um, he was a good killer, you know, brutal. Some of those killings and the way he's flayed those, well, not flayed, but set up the bodies was just insane. It was a good season. Very religious. They had Brother Sam in there. He was obviously basing his stuff off of the Book of Revelations. He had a lot of stuff in it. Um, he was a good killer. Uh, he was the reason why Deb found out that Dexter was the Bay Harbor Butcher, as well as why LaGuerta found out he was the Bay Harbor Butcher. He did cause a lot of mayhem by accident, so he's gonna go just below Dokes. And to be honest, I don't think I'd change much here. I think, yeah, I like this. I think this is fair. There are a few more killers that you could put in, but for like Jordan Chase, I'm just gonna do his whole crew. They're pretty mid. But there's like the two Fury killer and stuff, but I think this just means like the main villains, the main ones. There are definitely others. But yep, this is it. Oh, thank you for watching. Let me know what you want to see.